We are live in a cafe. Today I'm at Nadia Coffee House. Welcome guys to a little mini series of Nadia talks about random things including coffee, languages, culture, random life lesson topics, and perhaps, later as we go we'll talk more about like relationships and dreams and expectations and thinking deeply into a particular topic. So I just wanted to sit down and start talking because I've been wanting to do this podcast thing for so long. But before I have my full setup ready, I wanted to, slowly come on and talk to you guys for whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes to really just delve deeper into the ideas that I wanted to touch upon, if that makes any sense at all. I brewed myself a flat cloth this morning with Ethiopia Yagatepu G1 Kuke honey. It's a very classic bean that everyone, is familiar with, at least here. At least it's been imported really well. So let's get on with the story. Once again, my name is Nadia Park. I am a content creator, barista, cafe owner currently living in Korea. Born and raised fully in the States, came here in 2019 after I graduated college and kind of built a life here in Korea before I knew it. And I did the whole corporate job in a tech company, quit that job, started Instagram, and then doing coffee business on the side and trying to grow that business. And I think the past year I've been trying to realize, I guess, my limitations in that field and trying to understand coffee, the business, where my actual goals lie, what my true values are. Now that I'm approaching my 30s, I think this is a really great moment in my life to be able to finally revamp me and also help you guys and guide you to discover, I guess, what it means to fixate on an identity, lose that identity, create an identity, and find your place in the world. And also, at the same time, love the world. One of the things I want to do is delve into my experiences, give you like the raw footage of my thinking process, because usually on social media, especially the short form content that I've been producing, it's really organized thoughts that I've been thinking for a very long time that I want to, put in a very clean video for you guys. But I wanted to kind of have more of like a conversation style chat kind of thing, and it'll be a little bit more, I guess, like all over the place, but I think there is the joy in understanding the thought processes that we go through when we're thinking about, coffee or dreams or culture, whatever it may be on this channel. And so, I've been going through a lot of different changes, a lot of realizations, setting up this cafe, trying to run a business, and I think there's a lot of stuff that I can teach, or not really teach, but just like kind of give you the insights on, especially as someone who I believe have accomplished that first dream and realized that that was a first dream. And so I'm starting a series, of course, on Instagram related to after the first dream, and also a topic called Brewing Moments, where I want to take that first dream that I had, and instead of just trying to like pull through with that kind of, passion and opportunities and the big like grandiose kind of like visuals, and more focus on what we kind of need to do in order for us to grow from our experiences so that we can achieve whatever goals or dreams that we want to, tackle next. So I want this to be a soft, honest, raw kind of conversation. I'll try to sprinkle in some, fun storytelling moments as well in the process, but I wanted to be as vulnerable and grounded as possible. No fluff, just really raw me. And I want us to be able to, break those pieces down and kind of give you a little bit of insight in how to approach and see things in different lights. As someone who has studied various languages as well, I think one of the big traits that I have is to be able to kind of put myself in other people's cultures and kind of like approach them. Whether I can fully put myself in their shoes and understand someone is a different story. I think that's more of like a person-to-person kind of connection and understanding. But for me, that ability to adjust and adapt in different areas so that I can, approach people, approach you, approach anyone really, is a skill set that I have that I want to, delve into. And being able to connect the dots, I think, is also really important in, that connection. So I actually just filmed a really quick overview of my thoughts on that first stream which is on my Instagram. But related to that, I wanted to talk to you guys about the background, I guess. And the point here is that I had thought that my dream was always going to be this passionate, this glamorous thing that I could achieve no matter what people said. And I realized that as much as I wanted to pull through and push through that, I didn't always have the skill sets to do so. And I also realized that that dream, that happiness part isn't always going to be there. That dream, the reason why I had it, the goals that I wanted, I started kind of veering further and further away from, I guess, the core, and being able to have a core within you, and then, listening to other people's opinions or discovering new parts of this journey. And you kind of continuously wiggle, and you're like, oh wait, and waver. You kind of want to go this way or that way, and then you kind of lose yourself in the process. And I think that's what happened to me, especially last year as I was setting up this cafe. A lot of problems have come out from that. And BRB, I was baking bread. So sorry, yeah, I was baking some pain au chocolat and I completely forgot about it, but we're good, didn't burn it. But yeah, so yeah, I guess just showing you the hectic side of what it means to build yourself and what you want to do. There's a life that I really, really admire and I want so badly. And I realized that to get to that process, that core value is where that dream was, but it wasn't necessarily growing a business, doing big things, making money, it's not always there. And I kind of you fool yourself into thinking that that is where you want to be. And sometimes it's not fooling yourself, you really actually want that, but at the same time, I think you realize certain things once you've actually tried and achieved them, and failed. It might seem like I want to admit that I failed, but I also don't want to admit that I failed, because in that failure and realization that I had failed, I am now discovering, a different version of me and things that I want to do, and I want to open up that opportunity. So I hope that these mini video series will be a little bit of a healing moment for you. So welcome to, I guess, the Diaries of Nadia. I'm still trying to figure out the name for my podcast series, but for this, it'll just be after the first stream, because it's a little mini series where we feel like we're in a bubble and we're chatting. So